We've been teaching the truth since 1969. That all so-called blacks, Latinos, and First Nations are the children of God, the true Jews in the Bible. The so-called Caucasian over there in Israel claiming to be a Jew is an imposter. You so-called West Indians, you Haitians, you Dominicans, you Latinos, you First Nations, you Mohawk, what have you, you are the Jews. You're the Israelites. And the LGBTQ community gets nothing but praise. You know why? Because we are the hated of the earth. We're the people not desired. Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. That's the truth according to the Bible. Read on.
Matthew chapter 10, verse 5.
Go ahead.
These 12 Jesus sent forth.
These 12, these are the 12 disciples. Go ahead.
And commanded them, saying, go not into the way of the Gentiles.
Go not into the way of the Gentiles. Go not into the way of the Gentiles. We have a table over there. You can grab flyers over there at the table and get our contact information. Christ told his disciples, do not go into the way of the Gentiles, where the Gentiles are. Who are Gentiles in this context? Anyone that is not black, Hispanic, or Native American, you will be a Gentile. Christ only came to save blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, the people that the world hates, the people the world puts at the bottom, the people that built this country, that built America, yet reap none of the benefits. While the LGBTQ is living out their reality, their truth, we out here telling you the Jews are black and are being assaulted by goddamn crackheads, man. That's the suffering, that's the torment we have to face, but it's only going to happen for a short time. In a minute, anyone that puts their hands on a so-called black man is going to get put to damn death, man, by the hand of God, okay? By God. God's going to ordain these things to happen. Why? Because we are his children. We are the children of God. Christ told his disciples, do not go in the way of the Gentiles, the other nations. Go ahead.
Go not into the way of the Gentiles.
Go ahead.
And into any city of the Samaritans enter ye not.
Or the Samaritans are the other nations, the other people. Don't go into their cities. Go ahead.
Verse 6. But go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
No, go to everybody.
To the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
No, God's coming to save everybody.
But go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
God said to go to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Excuse me, Christ said to go to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. First of all, Christ doesn't look like this Hell's Angels character right here either. That's a damn lie. Christ is a black man with nappy hair. That's who's returning. That's why they got the Space Force set up to try and stop any UFOs from coming on the earth. You know what those UFOs are? Those are God's chariots, man. God's aircraft. The West Indian in the projects has an air force. Every nation has an air force. Your air force, black man, Latino, Native American, comes from outer space. That's why they complain. They scared to death about UFOs. Why would you need a space force? China's not out in space. China's right here on earth. What are you protecting yourself from out in space? You're protecting yourself out from God and God's angels. God's angels are returning on this earth, and they're coming to save the blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. Christ sent his disciples out to speak to blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, which is why we're out here addressing you as such. Addressing you as such. Read on.
Verse 7. And as ye go, preach, saying, the kingdom of heaven is at hand.
That's what we do. We say the kingdom of heaven is at hand. God's kingdom is coming. God's kingdom is coming, and Canada will be gone. Canada will be no more. America will be no more. America will be no more. These nations will be no more. God's kingdom is coming, and the kingdom is only for blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. You see, you so-called Caucasians, you Asians, you Arabs, this is your heaven right now. This is the time where you run the earth. You have China. You have whole nations over in Asia. You have whole nations over in the United States that you can go to. Pretty soon, those nations are going to be destroyed, burnt to hell, and the black man, Latino, Native American, we're going to be in heaven. The black woman's going to be the new Karen, so you can understand. She's gonna not feel right about something. A Latina is not gonna feel right about something. She's gonna call the cops, and we come in and knock somebody's teeth in, man. That's what's gonna happen in the kingdom of heaven. The black woman's gonna be the Karen. The Latina is gonna be the damn Karen in the kingdom of heaven. Our women will be treated like women, not like dogs like they are right now, man, by this society. Our brothers, the brothers of blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans will love each other, man, in that day. And we'll be ruling the earth. We'll be kings and priests on that earth. On the earth, as black men, Latino, Native American men, we are kings and priests, not dope dealers and goddamn rappers, man. We were put on this earth to be kings and priests, and our kingdom is coming. We're gonna rule the earth. Black man, Latino, Native American. Preach saying the kingdom of God is at hand. The kingdom of God is our rulership. That's what the kingdom of God is.